And I represent Community Living Oakville tonight. And unfortunately, our executive director couldn't be here, Alexander Hoek Murray. I will share a few points as to why we're endorsing the idea of Post Residence Inc. Today I had the opportunity to actually sit in a town hall and see a number of concerned residents for various reasons, and I do recognize that we're talking about traffic, we're talking about affordability, we're talking about safety. And a gentleman had mentioned Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which at the bottom of that basis was a physiological need and shelter. I was thinking he was going in the direction of something like this would warrant or be warranted in Oakville. It got flipped upside down, and it is what it is. I'm here to continue to endorse this idea because it's almost like an angelic partnership. We've been in Oakville for 70 years, operating group homes and independent group homes, and up to this day, some people still don't know about Community Living Oakville. We've had our office on 310 Wycroft, 240 Wycroft. We have an office as well where we employ people who experience disability. We have employment programs for people who experience disability. We have different community connection programs, which are kind of like day services for people and elders that experience disability as well. And we have 18 group homes that have supported people for over 70 years who experience both mental and physical disability. We've quietly trucked along, but we are recognizing that there is a crisis for sure for people who experience disability and housing and livable housing. This, as I said, is almost an angelic partnership that we couldn't even foresee coming, but we were lucky enough to be able to receive 20-ish units in this building. And it's not just four walls for people. I want people to understand that it's safety, it's dignity, and it's belonging. It's a place where life happens for people, where people can rest, where people can grow, and they can be amongst other residents in that building and not rely on just staff. They can rely on a neighbor. They can rely on maybe a single mom that says, hey, I'll make you dinner tonight. Do you want to come over? It's an entire ecosystem of a community that's going to support our most vulnerable people in society. Now imagine if you never had that. And in some cases, we heard this gentleman here say that homelessness is on the rise. And we're faced with that crisis. Today, more than 53,000 individuals are currently waiting for services. Parents are aging, they're getting tired. We're seeing a lot of abandonment at the hospital because they can't take care of their loved one. What a place to be. I can't imagine even being in that. And as the director at CLO Oakville, I've had the opportunities to try to support this situation and provide housing that is livable, habitable, and safe. These people that we're supporting are not just numbers. They're not just ChatGPT depictions. These are people. These are sons, daughters, neighbors, friends, and people who want to just belong, just a place to call home. But here's the hard truth. Housing in communities like Oakville has become increasingly out of reach. The people we support are often living on ODSP, which is the Ontario Disability Support Program income. They're trying to survive in a market that was never built with them in mind. But these are people that have lived in Oakville their entire life. Why should they be forced to go somewhere else? They're being priced out, pushed aside, and even sometimes left behind. And when you don't have stable housing, everything else begins to fall apart. Your health, your independence, and your sense of self. Can you imagine not having a place to go home tonight after we're done here? That's why this initiative, Post Residence Inc., is not just another development project. It's hope. It's a response to a crisis that has gone on far too long. It's a commitment to building community where people with just developmental disabilities are not just accommodated, but they're valued. The proposed project at Sixth Line is more than just about affordability. It's about creating a space where people can live with dignity, where supports are available, and where individuals can build meaningful lives, as I mentioned earlier. At Community Living Oakville, we see the impact of housing every single day. When someone has a safe and stable home, everything changes. Confidence grows, independence increases, people begin to participate more fully in their communities. Many of the people we've supported over the last 70 years have contributed right here in the Oakville community, whether they work at the local McDonald's or at the Metro. They have their self-citizenship and they thrive. Let's be clear, this doesn't just benefit the individuals who live there, it strengthens all of us. Because an inclusive community is a stronger community. A compassionate community is a better community. And a community that ensures its most vulnerable members have a place to call home, that is a community that truly understands what it means to care. Post Residence Inc. represents that vision. It represents partnership, it represents action, and most importantly, it represents people who deserve the same opportunities as anyone else in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lahashmi.